something I said. I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. You said.
Let het een waarschuwing voor je wees, want ik ben een vuilnisman uit gisteren en ik breng je de vuilnis. En als du een pak mij mislust, ligger je dat dier, dan als du niet meer vuilnis om op te roemen, dan zal ik het aan, maar ik zal het bloed aan, onder erin is wat de tekst van het nummer I Just Died in Your Arms van Cutting Crew is. Een onmogelijke taak. Dus wees waarschuwen voordat u mij mee de vuilnisman u gisteren een pachtslust voor die lak ziet om een rotzooi op te roemen.
Here today is Dr. Andrea, who will inform us about the Frisian deity called Vuilnisman. Please, have the stage.
So basically, let me introduce myself. So, as correctly stated, I am Andrea. I am the lead researcher in Frisian history, culture and mythology. And we have done some very exciting discoveries in the last few months, actually. To give some back context, Friesland is a place. It probably used to be a type of kingdom. Probably something happened because there are also sources that talk about something called Nederland, which also was a kingdom. But it's all very much guesswork. We know very little about what has happened. But this all takes place in a continent called Europe, and of course, a lot of people don't know about Europe anymore. That's because Europe is basically where nowadays the extended North Sea is located. It's gone. It's underneath the sea. It's on the bottom of the ocean. So again, it's very difficult to do actually digging, but we have recovered some items as of late, and it's been fascinating. We found beautiful insights in how Frisian people led their life in the year 2000, 2020. It's marvelous, to be honest. So, yeah, basically, what I would like to talk about with you today is mythology. Because in recent discoveries we have found a product, and a type of item that is found across multiple households. So we think it's quite a common demon, actually, a god of sorts, but minor. It's not a main god, but it's like a minor god. It's a demon, which would kind of assist the Frisian peoples in their daily life, because the Frisian peoples had a lot of garbage, which is a type of possession and material that the people have, but they don't want it. They need to get rid of it. And of course they don't like looking at the stuff that they want to get rid of. So, what do? It's quite ingenious, to be honest. They invoke the, as we call them in the video, this is most likely the most accurate description we have of it. It's deciphered, it's translated, it might not be completely true, but basically we think it's called the Vuilnisman. And we have found multiple statuettes, icons, medallions of this Vuilnisman. And basically what they would do is probably do some type of ritual, and they would invoke this Vuilnisman. And the Vuilnisman would come to you, most likely. And it would ask you to sign a pact. You would have to put your signature, you would have to follow his rules, and then he would help you. And basically what the Vuilnisman did is all this trash, remember the possessed items that they didn't want, he would get rid of them. Just like that. He would get rid of them so the Frisian people could forget. So they didn't remember how much stuff they left behind. We're quite uncertain why they did it like this, but in the text it says something about blind laziness or ignorance or something in those lines. Could be. We still have to do more research about what actually happened in those times. Because of course this is Frisian, but it's all very much connected. It was a very interconnected world. It's hard to imagine, but they were really interconnected. Because one of the things that could happen if you did not oblige to the rules and you did not respect the vuilnisman, then basically you were forced to sing this chant of his. And this chant, actually, this is the most interesting thing. This chant might be a completely different language. It might have nothing to do with Friesland at all. So it suggests that there is a cross-continental, cultural, basically sharing of gods, of religions, of these pantheons. We suspect it might be American. And America, that's a whole different can of worms. This is the most difficult research in the entirety of history. We have no idea what happened there. Most likely a huge disaster, something terribly went wrong. There's almost nothing to find. There are things spread across the world that reference it, but it's just a very mystical place, maybe even. But yeah, they were forced to sing this song by something called the cutting crew. Cutting crew. It's difficult to honestly decipher. But the vuilnisman used this as well in his punishment for those who did not follow his word, basically. Who did not pay respect to their covenant. And basically what would happen as punishment was that they would be stuck in this eternal state of mind. It's peculiar. They would not die, and we think basically what the trade-off is that this vuilnisman would then be able to feed on the poor soul who got punished for eternity, until, because there was a way out, until he could remember the text of this probably very esoteric and ominous song. This was most likely such a difficult test that most people couldn't do it. So it was basically a way for the vuilnisman, even though of course he had a good side because he helped a lot of people. There was also a side where they would be able to feed upon the souls of those who didn't succeed. So it was a bit of a trade-off. And the thing is, you cannot really say that the vuilnisman is good or evil, or that the Frisians were any of that. But clearly there has been like a trade-off, you know. There was a certain social dynamic going on between the two. And we're very excited to share this with you. So again, thank you for having me. This was all about, I hope to come back someday and talk more about Frisian deities, heroes, and just their culture in general. It's very fascinating, but of course it's been all flooded, so it might take some time. But I've been Dr. Andrea. Thank you as well for listening. Thank you for having me once again. And I'll see my way out. Hey, thank you, huh? Yeah, thanks. Yeah.